Hi all, Cyphers here, and this is not a review, this is an opinion piece. This is an opinion piece on what Monte Cook Games does right that few others do as well. But Monte Cook Games has stepped it up. This is the Ninth World Bestiary 3. And wow. Okay. So if everybody has magical powers, magic becomes mundane. If everybody knows what a goblin is mundane. Let's compare to the real world. Everybody that I know knows how to use a smartphone, at least to make a phone call, whether you're on Apple or Android, possibly BlackBerry. I doubt everybody knows how to make a BlackBerry call because of how BlackBerry doesn't really exist in the same format that it used to. So, but it wouldn't take that long to figure out. The magic of the cell phone is mundane. Why am I talking about mundane and magical? For the simple fact that Numenera has promoted an idea that is wonderful. And this makes up for the End of the Night book. Because I was reading through the Bestiary 3, and I realized I don't recognize many of the creatures in here. Although a lot of them have very similar forms to things that I've seen before. But many of them are very unique, they're inspired, but a lot of them are not obvious as to what they're inspired by. But wow, you have fascinating creatures. And every creature has, I believe every creature has a GM intrusion. Don't quote me on that, but most creatures at least have a GM intrusion. Well, let's look at the Protodidact. I have no idea what this thing is. It's this purple thing, right? It has a motive. There's a description of it. It tells you how powerful it is. Its armor class, if you will. Where it is environmentally. The health it has. The damage it inflicts. The motivations, the movement, and how it acts in combat. How do you interact with this thing? How will the GM use it? What sort of loot does this creature have? And most importantly, it shows you a human compared to this thing in size. And I believe this is the larger version. You know, in the shadow. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So, the brilliance that Numenera brings is that greater than 90% of the creatures in this book, it has a T-Rex. So that's what I'm saying, greater than 90%. Have something that feels magical. It reinvigorates my imagination. And with the fact that loot is broken down into these single-use items called Cyphers. And the reason why that's important is because you don't have to remember it longer than you have it. It's not a spell. It's a unique thing that you have to choose when to use. Every battle feels like some sort of game show almost as to what you're competing for, and it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You have so many resources that you can use, and they might not be the right answer. They might not provide you with the right answer. And that's what's brilliant about Numenera. Seriously, guys, if you're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, if you are playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, if you're playing 13th Age, if you're playing Homebrew, if you're playing Lord of the Rings, well, maybe not Lord of the Rings. That would be interesting, but you have those people, the lore masters, self-appointed, that would utterly destroy that. Dune as well, like any rabid fan base, create your own world, use these creatures, and you will have unique experiences that set people up for the sort of success that you want from a role-playing experience. Which is precisely to say, there's no reason you can't have a good experience utilizing these creatures. They do several things, and there's these little blue guys that are part mechanical, and they swarm, and they might help one player and then attack the next. And it is brilliant. I love it. It adds an air of mystery to them. There's a way that certain player types can communicate with certain creatures, and it's not always a positive interaction. It's not always a negative interaction. You don't have to resort to combat all the time. And that's what a role-playing game is, right? Where you can come up with a solution outside of fighting your way through something. 3 level 1s, doesn't matter your class, powers, or anything, you're not going to defeat a CR20 red dragon. You're not. In D&D 5th edition, like, or any edition of D&D that uses the challenge rating. But there's a way to roleplay and negotiate. There's some insight stuff, and that's there for the GM to communicate with the players that have these skills or that have this knowledge that, hey, you're sensing something from it right now, it just seems worried. And then the players have more insight, and therefore the world seems more fleshed out because this creature has this player insight from the GM. It is absolutely beautiful. It is a work of perfection. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Alright, having one out. Thanks. Bye.